Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to another BoshNRoll video. Today, I'm playing Legacy, and this is a Patreon list from Patreon patron Jeremy. And Jeremy told me just play whatever JPA 93 is playing. So basically what that means is play the best version of Sneak and Show. JPA 93 is a known Magic Online grinder. His real name is Jonathan Angelescu. He is from Germany, and he is a known Magic grinder, Magic Online grinder. I think he's on Team Haruyuya or something, or was at one point. I don't know his whole life, but he is the name that is directly connected to Sneak and Show, and whatever he's doing with the deck is probably the best thing you can be doing with the deck. So Jeremy was right to just send me in that direction. So this is a list I pulled from a recent Magic Online Legacy Challenge. JPA made the top 4 of it with this Sneak and Show list. And this is pretty stock. And the reason for that is because JPA sets the stock. Like, he is in charge of what the stock list looks like. 4 Grizzlebrand, 3 Emrakul, 2 Omniscience. The normal cantrip package, just 4 of each, and then some disruption, and just get over the finish line. The sideboard, I've seen actual Blood Moon over Magus of the Moon, and I've seen Jace over Vendilion Click in some sideboards, but the other 11 cards are pretty locked in. So this version, Magus of the Moon can actually attack and win a game on its own, but it dies to Lightning Bolt, where Blood Moon doesn't. Also, Magus of the Moon doesn't get wilted, but Blood Moon does. They both get Abrupt Decayed, so there's pros and cons to each, but JPA has gone with Magus for this particular list. And then Vendilion Click wins the game in a different way than Jace does, but they're both powerful cards that are slightly off the normal game plan, so I'm into it. And if you're not familiar with Sneak and Show, here's the show. Show and Tell, 3 mana sorcery. Each player puts an artifact, creature, or an enchantment, or land from their hand onto the battlefield. You try to put in Grizzlebrand, Emrakul, or Omniscience, something completely unreasonable and unbeatable, and then win with it. Sneak Attack. 4 mana enchantment. 1 red. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. It gains haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So, of course, the plan with this is put it into play, put in Grizzlebrand, draw cards till you have Emrakul, attack for 22. Just Taylor Swift them. And that's the deck. There's nothing fancy going on here. It's A plus B. There are 8 A's and 9 B's in the deck, and you just need 2 of them to show up together and resolve them. And that's what we're trying to do. So let's go do it. So I'm on the draw here in round 1, and I have a hand with an A and 2 B's and a Brainstorm. There's no protection, but the Brainstorm, I'm hoping, if I find a Show and Tell, Sneak Attack, or Counterspell, those all count as protection, because if they win the first fight, then I have another one to jam the following turn, or I could just fight over the first one. Alright, so Windswept Heath, Tropical Island, Dryad Arbor. I wonder if this is some sort of like Bant Maverick deck, or I don't know what we're playing against right now. If this is a Maverick deck, then Show and Tell is very dangerous, because this deck is... Maverick decks have Karakas, and they have Knight of the Reliquary that can tap to go find Karakas, so you need to do something a little different than just normal jamming against those decks. Is this a turn 2 Leovold? Dark Confidant. Okay. This deck is cool. I don't know what they're up to exactly, but it's cool. Alright, so I will play around Daze by making my land drop. I'm gonna brainstorm now because if I find Ponder or Preordain, I want to keep my velocity moving forward. There's a Ponder right there. Put back 2 of these lands, fetch. I guess I should respect red sources because I'll need 2 of them to sneak attack. I'm gonna shuffle this though. Alright, so the last time I played Show and Tell, I got kind of blown out by playing around Wasteland to a point where I couldn't actually cast or use my red cards. And I think I've already fallen into that trap a little bit here. Like, playing around Wasteland, which is a card that a deck like this almost certainly has. Like, there's Knight of the Reliquary. Alright, so this is definitely a Wasteland deck, and I played around it to a point where I can't sneak attack this turn. I would love to draw Show and Tell, though, because I have the Omniscience. I can just pop off. I'll keep the Ponder. Do I fetch a red source and just hang it out there? I don't think so. Maybe I do. Yeah, I can Show and Tell next turn anyway. If they spend their turn wasting, alright, cool. I probably should have played around discard and left the Show and Tell on the top. See if that punishes me. Alright, there's Wasteland. We knew they had it. No surprise there. Knight of the Reliquary is active, but because I have the Omniscience, that shouldn't matter too much. Unless they have something like Reclamation Sage to put in off my Show and Tell. I'm a little worried about Tropical Island. Like, I'm not sure if I should be... Is that just like for a Leovold splash? Is that for Uro? Are they going to have Daze in their deck? Are they actually a blue deck? All of these questions are big ones. But I get to do the Show and Tell with Spell Pierce backup. And then I can cast Emrakul and Grizzlebrand both immediately. Alright, I don't care about that. That's not the fight I'm looking for. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're dead on board. And this looks pretty good. Because of Omniscience, we would not have won this game if we just put in a monster. They put in Wasteland, alright. Emrakul. Alright, so we have an extra turn on the stack. Boom. I don't know about you, but you're taking 22. Boom. Alright, so Omniscience overpowered Knight of the Reliquary. Knight is kind of scary. That makes Show and Tell a lot worse. Or you need some additional backup to come with it. I don't think Flusterstorm is going to play in this matchup. A Crater Maker can destroy Containment Priest. Pyroclasm could be pretty good. If they're on like hateful little shitters. Spell Pierce. I mean, they're gonna have spells, so I can't just cut all of my permission. Like Green Sun Zenith. It's important in a deck like Sneak and Show that only does one thing to know exactly what every deck is going to do against you. And I will admit that I don't know exactly what every deck's going to do against me because I don't play Sneak and Show that often. But I do know Legacy, and I expect Containment Priest, Caracas, We saw black mana, so they could have discard spells. I think I want Crater Maker for sure, and then if I want these Pyroclasms, where do they come in? Do I even want the Pyroclasms? Yeah, Crater Maker can kill a Containment Priest or a like Pithing Needle on Sneak Attack or Grizzlebrand, which is pretty good in both directions. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to jam through here with the minimal sideboard change. Okay, so I have a very fast Omniscience Emrakul. Like, I could turn 1 this shit if I had the Show and Tell, but I don't have the Show and Tell or a way to look for it. But I do have Crater Maker, which is my potent sideboard card. I don't actually know if I'm supposed to keep this. I'm gonna, though. Like, this hand is kind of resistant to discard because I have 2 payoffs and no enabler. Like, there's no one thing they can take to collapse my hand. The hand is just at risk of collapsing itself is the problem. But maybe I'll just top deck. Show and Tell, turn 1 it, and GG. The Omniscience Emrakul with all this fast mana is hard to get away from. Sneak and Show experts in the chat, please tell me if this is a keep or not, because I don't actually know. So I'm getting set up for cantrip here. If I find one, ever. But I do play a lot of them. I play basically as many as you can, within reason. Right, Meddling Mage. Okay. That's what Crater Maker's for. So do they name Crater Maker? Do they name Pyroclasm? Nope, they name Show and Tell. That's what you do. So I am gonna run out my... Do I run out the Crater Maker? Yeah, I guess I want to use my mana early and often. Do have to fetch a red source to do this, but I think it's fine. Just sit this and play. I wouldn't have run it out if I didn't have the Lotus Petal, but having Petal... Like, if I just expose this to Swords to Plowshares or Abrupt Decay without clearing the Meddling Mage, that's pretty bad. But I like hanging this out there as is. So an interesting question is, if they cast Knight of the Reliquary, like, Omniscience is your way around crap like Knight of the Reliquary, but Omniscience is also the card I can pitch to force. So there's some decision to be made here. Alright. Yeah, they just pulled off the Band-Aid. They want to get my Lotus Petal out of the deal, at least. Which makes sense to me. They have another one. Chalice on 1. Yikes. Okay, so that does fuck up my whole cantrip situation. Are my cantrips more important? Yes. Okay. Sorry, Omniscience. This is where I draw Show and Tell and just feel bad. Alright. So, I am going to need those cantrips. Eventually. Thalia. Alright, yeah, there's all sorts of hateful shit. I should have the Pyroclasms in. Alright. Put back one of the Emrakuls and Lotus Petal. If they cast Choke here, I'm just dead, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Alright, bottom, top. So I have Show and Tell Emrakul now. If they have Caracas or Knight to put in, I'm in trouble. I already pitched an Omniscience, but I think I had to, or else that Brainstorm into Preordain would not have occurred. Let's just top deck sneak attack. Alright, well, I mean, I guess I go for it. Alright, all in. Do they have it? Wow, they had nothing. I guess they could, like, Council's Judgment, they could still draw Caracas this turn. They could just have Caracas in their hand, but why didn't they put it into play if they did? And their hand was super disruptive with Meddling Mage Thalia and Chalice, so maybe they kept a hand that just hoped that Show and Tell didn't hit the stack. I don't know. We'll see. All right. We did it. Good enough. On to the next round. I've kept this hand on the draw. It's 2 A's and a B with 2 Brainstorms to tie the room together. Oh, Basic Island Ponder. I wonder if this is a sneak and show mirror. What a crapshoot. Obviously, off of Island Ponder, I don't know anything about their deck yet, other than that it has Basic Island and Ponder in it. It could be a lot of things, but my brain has a little bit of bias right now that, like, oh god, it's the mirror. Because I'm fearing the worst. However, if it is the mirror, and they jam Show and Tell, and I put Omniscience into play, my opponent said, oh no, I've queued into someone good when playing utter jank. Well, joke's on you. I also don't know how to play my deck very well. Ooh, yikes. I am jealous of their deck right now. I'll brainstorm in response to this. Okay, so I have the entire kill set up right now with Force of Will backup. So I guess the question is, do I force the standstill, or do I let standstill pop and fight over their answer? And I think I let standstill pop. Yeah, I think that makes sense. The reason is, if I force this, they force back, then I have nothing and they get 3 fresh cards, versus letting them see if they have 2 answers in a 7-card hand. Let's find out. The good news is, if Show and Tell doesn't work, I still have Sneak Attack. And if Show and Tell does work, I'm going to teach them about science. Oh, putting in Standstill. That's funny. Well, they have 9 cards in hand, but no permanents. The good news of having a brand is that I play fair blue. So anyone who recognizes my name, but doesn't recognize that I'm frequently playing donation decks, will probably not be ready for the turn 2 Show and Tell. It's a good thing I wasn't playing fair blue, because their start was really good. So I want Vendilion Click in for this matchup. I probably want Defense Grid as well. And I'm going to leave the rest of this stuff in the board for now. V-Click is insane because you can respond to Standstill with it, and then you have a 3-1 in play, and they need to break their own Standstill to deal with it. So that's pretty messed up, if I do say so. So a matchup like this, I think that... So an instinct I have, just as a normal Magic player, is that if we're playing a fair game, Lotus Petal
could fall off, like exposing myself to a 2-for-1, like the Lotus Petal plus the Show and Tell to get blown out by Flusterstorm seems really bad. But the like combo player part of my brain is thinking like, if I get Grizzlebrand into play, I want to be able to pay 14 and still do stuff where Lotus Petal is important. So like my instinct to shave or cut the Lotus Petals, I'm not sure if I should trust it. But what else am I going to cut? Every other card in the deck is extremely important. And if I'm bringing in defense grids, do I then shave on counter spells? Or do I just maximize winning a counter war? But maximizing winning a counter war, does that involve Lotus Petal for Flusterstorm on top of my Island Ancient Tomb? I feel like Lotus Petal is important enough that I should have some number of them in there. And yeah, maybe I'll shave off Flusterstorm and Force seems too good. Like, just resolving your spells is the whole point of this game. Can you ever shave a cantrip? Do you just like cut Preordain? I don't know. Somehow that feels weird, but I know Bryant Cook sometimes boards out Ponders in the Epic Storm, and not that this is even close to the same thing, but there is some precedent I know of combo players boarding out cantrips. So I have a turn 2 Show and Tell, and I have a Preordain on turn 1 to get a peek for some. Like I have my draw step, Preordain, second draw step. So I'm going to see up to 5 cards to try to find a Force of Will to protect it. Opponent's on 6. That is the third color we've seen so far out of this standstill deck. I definitely don't want the land. Do I want Ponder? Like, I could, depending on what they do, I could set up a longer game of, like, Sculpt to a Vendilion Click and then Ponder them. And then, like I could just... Oh, Omniscience. Does that change the math? If so, how? Like, if they kept Containment Priest thinking that's going to win them the game, they're going to be disappointed. Fuck it, let's jam. Please play Containment Priest and have nothing else. Hardcast Daze would be a blowout, but I don't think you put Daze in a standstill deck. Oh no! I was wrong. Okay, fine. You did it. Yeah, they also have Containment Priest. Sure. So Vendilion Click's going to have to pivot to beatdown mode, but this Omniscience is pretty good. That's my out to the Priest. Okay, so Daze confirmed. The old standstill Daze combo deck. Oh, I like that. Yeah, so I'll lead on this, and then I can ponder. Vendilion Click can happen next turn. I was about to try to figure out how I'm going to navigate the City of Traders. Like, do I just main phase my click or what? But now I don't need to think about it. But now I can't end step click either. So I think I want to draw the second Brainstorm, fetch before the first Brainstorm, then cast Brainstorm. Sneak Attack is off, and I didn't board in an answer to Containment Priest. Oh, that's fun. Alright, so Brainstorm. That's a lot of Grizzlebrands. Do I brainstorm again right now? I don't think so. Should probably fetch now, though. Non-token creature. Unfortunately, this is not a non-bow. That would be funny if the priest just ate their own fairies. They do have the necessary 3 mana now to Force of Will, which I'm not a fan of. If they keep tapping out, though, then it gives me a chance. Yeah, I wasn't ready for Daze. Like, I was ready for Priest, but not Daze, and that just ended up not being great. Alright, so I'm looking for a specific card, so I'm going to ponder first. Flusterstorm, Preordain. I think I want Preordain. I can fetch and cast Preordain. Am I getting stifled? Not bad. So I'm going to bottom these cards from Ponder that I don't actually want. Have I played a land this turn? I cast Ponder. I played Misty Reinforce this turn, yes. Okay. So I could Brainstorm to set up next turn. And maybe I'm supposed to just be playing like a combo player and jamming these Brainstorms. I don't have much time left. I'm going to 8 off this attack. Oh, Mutavault's over there now. Opponent said in the chat, oh, 4 mana Stifle. That's what I said too. Okay, these cards are not helpful. Alright, please don't have another 4 mana Stifle. Oh god, they had it. Alright, I'm fucked. Okay, so you're saying there's a chance. Okay, so their last card in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can put me to 1 right now. Oh my god. Alright, they didn't attack with the Mutavault. Or, oh, they're in main. I was like, I thought they just moved from main to combat, but they moved from upkeep to main. Okay, so they're going to put me to 1. And then I win, I hope. They do have 3 mana. They just drew a card off the top, though. So if they had Force, they needed to draw blue card, and if they had blue card, they needed to draw Force. Uh-oh. No. Oh, okay, 3 mana Daze. Alright. That does it. Yeah, so those Stifles were actually clutch, because if I paid for that Daze, I win. Okay, so I want Crater Maker. Do I want Pyroclasm? And Pyroclasm does sweep up most of the junk we just saw. Crater Maker can kill Mutavault too. Not that I think that's going to be a normal issue for the deck. Okay, so if the Crater Makers come in, what comes out? They showed me Daze and Containment Priest, both of which Flusterstorm and Spell Pierce are bad against. I think Spell Pierce at least still hits, like, Bitter Blossom or Standstill. Do you board out Sneak Attack when you see... Or can you shave Sneak Attacks when you see Containment Priest, or do you just play to beat Containment Priest? And Arcane Artisan also sidesteps Containment Priest, so maybe I'm supposed to do something like this. just mitigate it a little bit. Alright, I'll try that. I don't know if it's right. I'm making this up as I go. But feels okay. That's a turn 1 defense grid. Have they shown me a wasteland yet? I know we've seen Stifle. But this is terrifying. Like, turn 1 defense grid off Ancient Tomb. This sets up a turn 2 show and tell like a boss. Which I don't have, but I would like to get this grid into play sooner than later. Like, I could play turn 1 defense grid, turn 2 Crater Maker, and then if they have a turn 2 standstill, I'm attacking for 2. So standstill gets pretty bad under those circumstances. And if they force the defense grid on turn 1, then I get a Hymn to Turok out of it. And if they wasteland my Ancient Tomb, then we just start the game over again, basically, with them with 2 fewer cards in their hand. They're thinking hard about this one. They're on 6. Alright, bang. Combo deck. And I get to F6 because I can't play cards because of my own card. Stifle is really bad right now. I'm gonna get the Volcanic Island because I have to. They are so glad this wasn't show and tell. Yeah, I'm just trying. I played this instead of Brainstorm because I'm trying to get in under the standstill. And also, even if I brainstormed right now, like, unless I found Lotus Petal and show and tell, then it's a pretty bad brainstorm. Because I would have had to use my fetch land to cast Brainstorm, and Ancient Tomb only casts Defense Grid by itself, and I already have that. Alright, so what do we got here? Disenchant. Alright. Oh no. What will I do now that my Defense Grid is destroyed? Another one. Uh-oh, that's not good. So, Vendilion Click can stay in the hand. Guess I'll tuck these monsters away. Run out Lotus Petal. Yeah, the Lotus Petal is so Crater Maker is active. I don't know what crater I would need to make right now on their turn, but I have it. It's available to me if I want it. Definitely weird game going on right now. Oh, the Lotus Petal sets me up that I can ponder into show and tell and then still pop. They just main phase Containment Priest. I can kill it with Crater Maker. I'm actually dying faster to my Ancient Tomb than they are to my Crater Maker. Oh no. Spells with flash you cast cost 1 less and can't be countered. Okay. Sweet. So flash is not instant speed. Flash is its own word. So it's not like instants can't be countered. Alright, let's find show and tell right now. This is not what I want. That's also not what I want. So I think I should keep velocity moving forward with this brainstorm, even if it costs me my Lotus Petal. Alright, I'm ready to go nuts next turn. So I'm going to hide Grizzlebrand and Show and Tell on top of the deck. I'll run out my city. And I'll just pass the turn. So that's actually kind of scary now, because this card makes it so Containment Priest only costs 4 under Defense Grid, and I can't force it. So I think I'm going to have to Crater Maker this Cunning Night Bonder. All of those are words I never thought I'd say. The standstill is actually great, though, because now I can just bomb this thing and put Grizzlebrand into play. So, do I bomb it now? Does it matter? I guess I'm... What could they do with Flash that costs less? Can't be countered. I'll deal with that next turn if I need to. I'm just going to cast Show and Tell. Yeah, because Flash things still cost more than they have. Guess I could have saved 2 life if I did this in the end step, but depending on what they put in, I might end up with a better target. I'm a little worried, not gonna lie. Ooh, Hull Breacher is a flash card. As flash, can't be countered. Scary stuff. Well, Spellstutter's Bright. So, I do have 2 Lotus Petals in the deck. If I pay 7, I go to 6. And if I find Lotus Petal... I haven't made a land drop this turn, so I'll pay my 7. Right, there's the Omniscience that I wanted last turn, or this turn. It's okay though. We'll make it work. If I fetch to 5, what happens? To cast Ponder. They can't stifle me right now, so I'll take it. I could also just leave up Force of Will with mana to pay for Defense Grid. Yeah, I think I like that. I have to discard... So I could discard one of these V-Clicks, or the Redundant Grizzlebrand, or Emrakul. I think I'm going to discard the Redundant Grizzlebrand. Because if I draw another way to put Omniscience into play, then Emrakul is the thing I want to do with it. And I took this line because it leaves up Force of Will. Ooh, I just noticed, like, if they have Venser, but I think if they had Venser, they would have put it in off Show and Tell. But if they have Venser, then I can't counter it. If I had 4 mana, I could kill this and then counter it on the stack afterwards, but I don't. So let's just hope... Oh, okay. They said I'm in danger in the chat. I hope so. I need some danger. Okay, so I'm going to get in with the Grizzfather. Right, so I gain a bunch of life. Maybe. They have some sort of trick here. Blessed Alliance. Target opponent sacrifices an attacking creature. I don't think so. Not on my watch. This doesn't have flash, it's just an instant. Now they're tapped out, and if I draw 7 and find Show and Tell, plus I can Ponder and still cast Show and Tell. Yeah, I'm going for the Omniscience here. Alright. Shown and Told. I could Ponder looking for another disruptive element. Like, how many are left in the deck? I boarded out the Flusterstorm, so there's one Spell Pierce, but I have Defense Grid. What am I even talking about? If they had anything that would have done it by now. So I'm gonna put in Omniscience. Science. Spell Queller, sure. Science. That should do it. Science. Science. Oh, Omniscience is fun. Let's look at a few more cards in this deck. We can put Brainstorm on the bottom, not that it matters. Science. Okay, so we were already winning on my first bonus turn, but now I have a second bonus turn lined up. Annihilator 6, so they get to keep one of these creatures, and then they died everything else. So I guess they could technically chump Emrakul and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and be at 3. I think they are not going to be able to get through this. I just have a sneaking suspicion. Alright, so it looks like they're taking the block. That leaves them at 3 life. I'm going to re-Emrakul. It is not necessary, but I'm going to do it. Re... Alright, GG's opponent. Good luck with your sweet flash deck, though. I do like what they're doing over there. Mega sweet deck. 2-0, next round. I'm on the play with a hand that has a payoff and a bunch of cantrips to find the enabler. I'm going to keep it. I don't need another one of these. I don't think I want the Preordain either, though Brainstorm into Preordain does use all my mana on the next turn, but I think I do want to just shred through my deck. Bottom Grizzlebrand, draw Grizzlebrand, the classic. Oh my god, if this deck plays Chalice of the Void right now, I'm in trouble. The good news is, Once Upon a Time decks should be pretty good matchups in general, I would imagine. Except for the Knight of the Reliquary for Caracas line that we talked about earlier. I don't think I'm going to need 2 Grizzlebrands, and my mana is super stable. I don't think I need this Lotus Petal either. I'm going to hold up Spell Pierce. If this deck has like Sylvan Scrying, Crop Rotation, Green Sun Zenith, anything like that, I would like to answer it. I can fetch in my upkeep. How many times are we going to draw these same Grizzlebrands that I don't want? Okay, so I can show and tell Grizzlebrand right now. Their Elvish Reclaimer can rotate for a Caracas. I wonder if this is 12 post, though. It probably is. I don't think Flusterstorm is going to be part of this matchup. I think I'm going to spend one more turn cantripping and then go for it. Try to find something a little more stable, or at least have some mana left over post Grizzlebrand. Right, so they are 12 post. Yeah, I think I should have just jammed, though that's not true, because if they're 12 post, they might just have fucking Emrakul in their hand. Or Primeval Titan, so I do need to show a little respect. Alright, so I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have enough mana that I can brainstorm on my turn and still do what I need to do. Wow, that did not come out great. So I can still ponder one more time and cast Show and Tell. I would love to find an Omniscience. Alright, well, I don't think it's getting better. They could have something fucked up in their hand, for sure. I just hope that they don't. Oh, Warping Whale, wow. Glad I played that Lotus Petal. Jeez. Now I have to hope their hand isn't like Primeval Titan or Emrakul. Warping Whale, wow. I guess that's something that JPA would have known. But us rubes who don't usually play Show and Tell. Ah, they had the Pithing Needle. Okay, so that gets the name Grizzlebrand. At least that wasn't Emrakul or Primeval Titan. But the bad news is still that a 7/7 lifelink does not necessarily beat this deck, especially with Reclaimer in play, doing work. Yeah, they could just play like Ugin this turn and or something and kill Grizzlebrand. And or they could just get Caracas and put Grizzlebrand in my hand where it's useless and I know the top of my deck sucks. Alright, we have been outmaneuvered. I tried really hard to find Omniscience, and it just didn't happen. Well, that's a good card. I can at least get in for 7, and then I have the Emrakul lined up for next turn. So we'll see how this goes. If they have a second Pithing Needle, I'm in trouble. It doesn't matter if they leave up Caracas, because Emrakul will still get to Annihilate. Yeah, they have to remove Sneak Attack or do something broken on their turn. But they're getting a third Cloud Post here, so they'll have, like, infinite mana. Alright. The top of my deck is Emrakul. One of us is dead this turn. That attack feels like all is dust. Oh, yeah, Ugin. Same thing. They're gonna -4, and then I'm dead. So if I waited a turn, what happens? Like if I just don't cast Sneak Attack, if I wait a turn and then Sneak Attack with Emrakul the next turn. No, but then they can just hold up Caracas and I don't have double red. Yeah, I'm dead. Alright. Fine. Show and tell's scary when your opponent has things that might be better than your things. So, Magus of the Moon, this is what you're for. Crater Maker. Destroy target colorless non-land permanent. Literally built for this. Flusterstorm, not great. We did see the Warping Whale, but I don't know how many of those they play, or how much respect I want to show them. Do I want a backup plan like Vendilion Click? Probably not. I think I just want to jam against this deck. Alright, in we go. Yeah, that was close. Like, all of that was just like 1 mana short, or 1 turn short, or they had the Pithing Needle short. This hand is not good. Yeah, I feel like this is too slow. Doesn't get there. Like, if any of these cards was a Ponder, I'd keep it. But I think for this matchup, we need to do something powerful. Ugh. This is a little dangerous, but I'm going to keep it. Like, the payoffs are so high. Just need to find a monster before they get set up. So cantrips are good, Emrakul's good. City of Traders is bad. I could just put Show and Tell on the stack next turn, even if I have nothing, and see if I can bait a Warping Whale. But wow, that could backfire. Okay, so at least here, Show and Tell isn't a complete lie. I can at least put Omniscience into play. But it doesn't do anything. Yeah, wow, fuck. Alright. Maybe my hand was just bad. Like, all my opponent has done is play 2 land drops. Oh god, just post. Alright, deck. How about Grizzlebrand? I suppose I deserve this. I probably also should have cast Sneak Attack last turn. Yeah, I had 4 mana last turn. There's no reason not to put the Sneak into play. Hopefully they think my hand is full of monsters and I just don't have red mana. Though I don't know if it matters what they think, because they have 9 mana right now. The old turn 4 once upon a time, and I'm still losing. Okay, so now they have 4, 8, 12. They have 13 mana to spend. I can cast 2 Show and Tells next turn, though, so if I draw Emrakul or Grizzlebrand, it's still somehow not too late. Is Chalice on 3? Oh, it's just Ulamog. Okay. I can cast 1 Show and Tell next turn. Alright, so if I draw Emrakul or Grizzlebrand, I can still win this. And I have space to cantrip into one of them. Oh, come on, shuffle. Show me the money. Fuck! So this exiles 20 cards off my deck, so I'm not dead yet. Yeah, so I take 10, I exile 20 cards. I can Force of Will something if I need to. Them untapping into Warping Whale sucks, though. Like, I think it's pretty easy to say, like, my deck hit its fail rate, this sucks, unlucky, etc. But also, I kept a hand that didn't have a clear path to the combo. I kept a hand that needed some help and it didn't get it. Okay, so they can Ulamog. They can Karakas Ulamog, recast Ulamog, exile my 2 lands. So somehow that doesn't matter because I have Lotus Petal City of Traders in hand. And I could force the 10/10 body of Ulamog. Is that something I want to do? I think probably. That could buy me at least another turn. Like, at least takes dead on board out of the equation. Guess I should look if they exiled all of my win conditions. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, they hit half of them. Still playing this game. 4, 8, 12, 13, 14. A basic forest casts Emrakul here, if they have it. Oh, that does way more than that. I'm dead to Walking Ballista. Golos is pretty strong. Probably getting Eye of Ugin would be my guess. To set up the infinite turns next turn. And now they're holding up Warping Whale, which they weren't doing the last 3 turns. Guess I should fetch anything to increase my odds. Jesus. All right, so they have 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22 mana. That's enough to activate Eye and cast Emrakul, so yep. We were very close for that entire game and just never got there. Welcome to Sneak and Show. Next round. All right, not making the same mistake I made last round again. This hand has both things. It's got A and B. It's even got the Omniscience. So I'm going to use this turn to preordain looking for protection. And then we're going to jam next turn. That's not quite the protection I had in mind. I don't want to take a turn off to do this, so I'm going to bottom both of those. I'm just digging for Force of Will. Another Windswept Heath deck. Okay. Hope I'm not dead. One of us is. Science. That just resolved. They, I think they were F6'd. Okay, yep. The Caracas is normally perfect, but I have the Science, so it doesn't matter. I suppose I just keep going for Emrakul. Probably should have kept the Ponder. Is there an Emrakul over here yet? Nope. Bottom, top. Where did you go? Bottom, bottom. So now I'm on to Brainstorms. Oh, Jesus. Oh, this sucks. I guess I can show and tell in another fetch land and shuffle my deck again between Brainstorms. It is dangerous to give them more things, but I think it's worse if I just miss. A weird line. I hope they don't have anything better to put into play. Sword of Fire and Ice, sure. Just trying to shuffle my deck here. Oh my god. I'll put these two back. And cast Sneak Attack, which lets me attack with a Grizzlebrand, but they have Caracas, so that's not even true. Guess I can do the show and tell thing again. Get another shuffle, go to 1 life. Ugh. Yeah, alright. What a nightmare. Mother of Ruins, okay, so now I'm dead on board. Oh, thank God. Okay, we got there. Took the longest possible route, but found the line. Cast Lotus Petal. I'll cast the next one with Omniscience, just to be clear. Alright, yeah, that was an adventure. Wow. Alright, we're playing against Maverick, which is a deck that you really need Omniscience against. Maverick is a tough matchup without Omniscience. Like we saw, the Caracas is a big deal. A Pyroclasm is good in this matchup. So is Crater Maker. I don't really care about the rest of this stuff. Then Flusterstorm does very little. Imagine Spell Pierce also isn't great. And they might be able to choke me. And like if they survive the first wave and then choke, then I might be stuck for a while. But in general, I think we just get to dumpster this deck. But the Omniscience really is essential. I did an episode of Deep Analysis, which is a webcast where I talk about legacy decks with Dukes on Twitch, who is the foremost authority on Maverick. And he said that the printing of Omniscience changed this matchup from like positive to negative, like pretty positive to pretty negative. I'm going to keep this hand even though it is soft to Wasteland. But it does have Sneak Attack, which is the thing, one of the things that disrespects Omniscience in a meaningful way. Okay, De-Silence. That'll slow me down. Finding a basic island would be pretty great. Oh, wow, that's nice. Yeah, I'll take this basic island from the top of the deck. I didn't take the Force of Will because I don't really want to pitch this show and tell to Force anyway, but maybe I should have. So I think what I want to do here is just pass the turn one time. And then I can show and tell Sneak Attack next turn and activate Sneak Attack. They missed their land drop, so they must have something good in their hand. So I don't know what it could be. Like, what does Maverick even do that I could possibly need to respect? Maybe they kept it on the strength of Deafening Silence? Is that even a thing? Alright, let's hope this Sneak Attack does what it needs to. Like, I don't think they would have been slow rolling Caracas. Yeah. Sneak. This Eldritch God was hiding behind the mountain the whole time. Okay, they're dead. Even if they top deck Caracas, I have a second Emrakul. Yeah, like you technically have to play it out here because I could just brick for the rest of the game, but I didn't. I have another one. Yeah, I mean, games like this certainly make up for games like the last round, where like sometimes you just like can't find your 9-outer, and other times you just dumpster people with complete impunity on turn 2. So I definitely see the appeal of this deck. And if you know exactly how to mulligan with it, then I suspect you end up with more games like you're supposed to have than like the ones where I was sputtered last round. I just realized we were playing against Achilles. Achilles is known for playing Maverick, so should have known that one. I'm on the draw. My hand has a payoff and a lot of cantrips to find an enabler, even as a force. I'm going to keep this. Let's see if I can dodge my fail rate again. Another basic forest. Do these people have no respect for sneak and show? So Elves is a complete laugher of a matchup. I just need to not hit my fail rate. I've played Elves a lot. Like, I actually released an Elf deck, or an Elf League earlier this week. Elves was one of my first Legacy decks. It's one of my favorite Legacy decks. And let me tell you, this matchup's bad. But that is all contingent on finding the namesake card. So I could Petal Ponder right now, but I can also Petal Ponder next turn, and it does the exact same thing. So I'm just going to hold my horses, because right now I could be just any blue deck. But if I Petal Ponder, then I'm definitely Sneak and Show, and that might change how aggressively they push their combo. I'm not going to fight over that. Elves with 4x Allosaurus Shepherd is pretty scary these days, because generally you would hold your Force of Will for the important card, but now there's the real chance that if you don't Force of Will, you never will. Okay, so that was the wrong payoff, but I'll ponder looking for show and tell. All right, we got there. And by got there, I mean we can put Omniscience into play. That doesn't necessarily win the game, but I have two cantrips to try to make it happen. That's weird. Why would they fetch for Arbor right there? They're gonna like put in Cradle and cast some green spell? Science. Alright, so they get to draw a card. Alright, I know I'm not excited about the top cards in my deck, so I can bottom with Preordain. Oh wait, these are great. Why did I think these were bad? Did I even know what these were? What am I saying? Yeah, any cantrip keeps the party going. Show me a Grizzlebrand or an Emrakul. Alright, Ponder's good because you get a shuffle out of it. I was worried I'd have to brainstorm again and see the same cards again. Shuffle. Uh-oh. Oh no. Not like this. Wow, I'm brainstorm locked with Omniscience in play, and got basically nothing to do about it. This Force of Will is just going to need to survive 3 turns. Fuck. Nice deck. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I cast 7 cantrips this game. It looks like they're kind of spinning their wheels, though. Though that doesn't matter a whole lot, because like they are still attacking with these creatures that they have in play. Like even when Elves isn't going off, they still get to do stuff, which is attack with their 5/1/1s. So like if they attack for 2 here, I'm at 15. I draw my first dead card. They attack for 5, I'm at 10. I draw my second dead card. They attack for 5, I'm at 5. Then I draw my first mystery card. And if they add anything else to the board in the meantime, or if they find a natural order in the meantime, I also just lose. Yeah, and Scavenging Ooze actually just makes me dead. This is why I don't play Sneak and Show. Like, you have those moments of unstoppable insanity, but then also you just sometimes cantrip 7 times and don't hit. So Pyroclasm comes in. I don't think I need Grafdigger's Cage. I'm pretty sure that's for matchups like Hogak and Dredge and matchups that might just be faster than you, but I should be faster than Elves. I might want Crater Maker. Depends on what I'm cutting. So they're gonna, if they have anything, it's probably gonna be like 4 Thoughtseize. So what do I, maybe I slow down a little. Oh, on the play, maybe I just want to be fast. I don't know. I'm not opposed to slowing down a little. But not much, like just a little. Sideboarding with this deck is so hard. Maybe on the play I should just maximize turn 1 dumpster hands. And forget about Crater Maker. Pyroclasm is my plan. Alright, let's do this. I left in the Flusterstorms because they're good against both Natural Order Glimpse and Thoughtseize. Alright, handful of cantrips. Don't betray me again. Force of Will, Lotus Petal. I don't want either of those. If they have Thoughtseize, they're going to take Grizzlebrand. Green mana. So the Force of Wills are blank now. Omniscience is great. Okay, so I don't need 2 forces. I might want to keep 1 in case they have Thoughtseize. But if I do that, nah, I'm off it. I'm just gonna try to find Show and Tell right now with my Ponder and jam Omniscience next turn. And this is kind of interesting, like keeping Pyroclasm, sweep it up, and then Brainstorm next turn. Like, do I pump the brakes a little? Do I think they're just gonna spew next turn? Probably. Okay, so now I can Brainstorm next turn and Pyroclasm and set up a big turn 4 off of an empty board. Unless they go off right now and kill me, which is kind of hard to do from this position, but the deck is certainly capable of it. Alright, not anymore. That land needed to be Cradle if they were going to kill me this turn. Hopefully they just run out 2 more elves. Or elf, heritage druid, another elf. Or are they going to play super tight and just not commit anything? It's also a thing you can do. Okay, so I don't need 2 Grizzlebrands. I don't need this volcanic island. Yeah, if they have maneuvered into a choke, then I'm just going to lose. Alright, let's hope they don't have choke, I guess is what I'm saying. And maybe I'm giving too much respect, but like If they had Fetch Dryad Arbor played Cradle with Shepherd still in play, I definitely just lose that turn. Jeez. Alright. Well, they know they have impunity now. Let's see how far this goes. If I draw Show and Tell or Brainstorm into land Show and Tell, then I get to go off with Omniscience. Alright, well, now I can just have 6. They have the Shepherd, but they know I would have countered the Glimpse if I had anything. Really, Choke is the card I'm worried about right now. Alright, Brainstorm, fix it. Okay. That's good. Put back Grizzlebrand and Onder. Doesn't matter. They can either answer my Omniscience or they can't. I could Pyroclasm just to make sure that I'm never going to lose. And then go off next turn. Like, okay, how do I lose this game? If I play Show and Tell and they put in Reclamation Sage, I'm dead. If they have anything but that, I win. I could also just Pyroclasm, and then they're untapping with essentially no permanence. They basically just have Gaia's Cradle that taps for nothing. And then on the following turn, I can go for my Omniscience, and even if they answer it, I win. Also, next turn, I could Show and Tell plus Pyroclasm. I'm 1 mana short of doing both right now. I'm sure the viewers are going nuts right now. Like, people tell me all the time I play combo decks like a control player. And, I mean, while that is true, I also have this dominating position right now. And why would I risk it if I don't have to? So here's my City of Traders. I'll just go for it. The critics can tell me I played this wrong. My instinct is to Pyroclasm, but let's see if I get completely blown out. Alright, so they have Archon. Alright, okay. We got away with it. Why is it on my side of the board? Get out of here. Go over there where you belong. Can't play enchantments. Alright, so I won't. Alright, now we win easily. Yeah, I mean, that worked out, but I do think there was a narrow window where we could have lost that game. Like, if they show Rex Age, I lose. And I could have played around it. Worked out that time, though, so everyone in the comments wants to tell me I play combo decks too slow. I did that for you, and you got lucky this time, but I do think you're wrong. Alright, so does anything change? Do I want Magus? I don't want Magus. Do I want Crater Maker? Pyroclasm is such a beating. Do I have any reasonable out to choke other than forcing it? I don't think so. And choke isn't even really the end of the line because I have Lotus Petal and Ancient Tomb. I could still cast a Show and Tell. Yeah, I think that this is just the deck I want to present. Let's go. Let's do it. Pyroclasm in the opening grip is pretty exciting. I don't have A or B. I'm gonna keep this. I'm hoping that on the play, if they Thoughtseize me and strip the Pyroclasm, I'm in trouble. But if they just like play some elf, all right, there's black mana. We're getting Thoughtseize. Okay, so I think they have to take Pyroclasm unless they want to try to fight through my hand and like take Brainstorm and hope that I never assemble my combo. It's pretty bold. All right, I found part of the combo. And now I'm holding up Flusterstorm. Yeah, it's cool that they didn't see that part of the combo. All right, Allosaurus Shepherd's pretty good. That's not so good. I'll Brainstorm in case I find a 1-mana cantrip. All right, well, I found Show and Tell. What do I want to do about all of this? I want to keep the city in case they cast Choke this turn. So, Flusterstorm. I actually want to keep Flusterstorm. I'll get rid of Force of Will. And I guess I'll hide Show and Tell on top. No, because then if I Flusterstorm, I lose it. I'll put Volcanic Island on top because I don't really want it. Okay, so now I can Flusterstorm a Thoughtseize, if that's what they have. If they're able to Natural Order into the Archon of Valor's Reach this turn and name Sorcery, I'm in some trouble. Wow, it would be nice if my counterspells worked. Fucking Allosaurus Shepherd. So good. Okay, that's not Gaia's Cradle. Inherited Druid is also scary, but that not being Gaia's Cradle takes a lot of pressure off. All right, off they go. And the only way they can generate black mana this turn is with a Birchler Ranger because they've already hit their land drop. Oh, nice. Wow. That was pretty medium as far as glimpses go. I'm gonna fetch. I don't want those cards on top of my deck. Omniscience. Alright, Lotus Petal's good too, though. Because now I can Show and Tell Grizzlebrand and draw, and I have some extra mana already at the ready. Grizzlebrand, get in there. Let's see what they got. Is there some technology? Or do I get to draw 14 and try to do this thing? Hoof, there it is. Not as good on your own turn as it is on, or on my turn as it is on yours. Okay, so there's an Omniscience. I think I just draw another 7. I'm 1 mana short of getting this Omniscience into play. Hope this works. I'm playing like it's a combo deck. Okay, so I can put Omniscience into play, and then I get Emrakul, and that should do it. Science. Emrakul. And that's 22 flying damage, which is more than you have life points. Alright, looks like we 4-1'd our Show and Tell League here. Oh, they have something. They're fetching. What type of forest messes this up for me? Alright, they got a Savannah. Super worried about Savannah. Alright, then we just smash, and they're dead. I guess they could Swords to Plowshares my Grizzlebrand. Like I don't have a handful of counterspells. I would honestly be blown away if they have anything here, even if they have Swords to Plowshares, which is not going to work. I would be so impressed that they even have that card in their deck. All right, yeah, they're just conceding. Okay, so put up a pretty juicy 4-1. The match we lost, we had everything lined up, just couldn't win. Just couldn't find a show and tell to put it into play, or was it the opposite? I forget. We had an A or a B and couldn't find the other one. But I mean, the deck's obviously powerful. We played against a lot of basic forest decks in this league, which makes it even easier. But deck is powerful. Omniscience is phenomenal. It is really nice to be able to just sidestep Caracas like that. And the list is super tight. JPA knows what he's doing. Jeremy, thanks for the suggestion. Anyone who has anything to say about how I played it, please let me know, because like I said, some people accuse me of playing combo decks like a control player. I think that playing control decks, or I think that that's one of my strengths, but some people, I frequently get told I lost because I did it, but I don't know. Hard to say. There were a couple close lines there, or hands that I'm not sure I should have kept. Just let me know in the comments what you think about it. So thanks for watching, everyone. Jeremy, thanks for the deck. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.